Hello, Internet. Just getting set up. There's no one on, which I don't mind. Nice way to start the stream without pressure. Oh, but Atse's here. Hello, Atse. How you going, mate? Fancy seeing you on. It's going well, thanks. Sunday night, end of the weekend. So it'll be a good chance to do a little bit of practice and do a live stream. I haven't done one for a few weeks. So I thought I'd get one in. How about you? What are you up to, Ace? Days off, weekend. Very nice. Well, tonight, Ace, I was going to do a couple of models from your finals. The ones that Toby has put into the practice models. So we'll get to those at some point. I'm going to be asking the audience which tier model they'd like to see. And if you have a preference, where do you think I should start? Tier 4, Tier 5, or Tier 6? I'm not going to do anything below Tier 4. So what do you reckon? Hello, Het. Very good, Het. Curious to know what that's about. What project it is you are doing. Up here, my tabs, I've got a bunch of Tier 4, 5, and 6 models ready to go. I've got 8 models. So why don't we do, what can I put in here? I can do a poll. Ask a question. Which tier difficulty do you want to see? Tier 4, Tier 5. And there's a Tier 7 option. Poll is up. I'll pretty much just leave that up the whole time, I think. All right, I reckon I should start with the Tier 7. Very good. V6 turbo engine in SolidWorks because I love F1 and that's the current engine on the team. Cool. Het, did you see the Las Vegas F1 earlier today? Apparently there's a bit of drama. With the McLarens, they might be up for a disqualification. That would be very interesting. Put Max Verstappen right back in the hunt for the championship. I've got 1 vote for Tier 4, and 1 vote for Tier 7, which would be Ace. We will do both. We're going to warm up with a Tier 4, and then we'll do the Tier 7 model. Okay? Well, working for Quadlock, who is an Oscar Piastri sponsor, partner, I am a big McLaren fan. Got in the back corner here, it's hard to see, but we do these custom cases, phone cases for Oscar, OP81 phone cases. And he's sponsored by us. You can see on his helmet, on his chin. Yeah, I like Mark Webber too. All right, so we're going to look at this Tier 4 model. It's a machine part. We'll do these videos as we've done in the past. So the aim will be, we're just going to open it up. We're going to do it. I'll give anyone watching a few seconds to take a screenshot. These are premium models. Take a screenshot while I'm talking and having a quick look. I'll reset the timer and then I'll start the model and we see how we go. And if we can do a quicker version afterwards, we might have a crack. So let's open up this model and check it out. All right, we'll click to begin, and I'll just have to set up my screen a little bit. All right, so here is the model. Give you a few seconds to take a screenshot if you're wanting to have a go. Red oak, millimeters, tier 4. All right, closing that now or repositioning it. And I'll get my red oak millimeters file open. Hello, Ashishi. Welcome. And let me restart the timer. And then we'll get started. Cancel, reveal, open new window, let's go. Okay, so it's symmetric apart from that section in the middle. So as Ace has taught me, we should just do a quarter of the model. So I'm going to do half the height, which is 45, and half the width, which is 65. I'm going to do that outside radius right now. It's going to save me some time. I'm also going to put the circle in the middle, which is 18 through all. Trim. I'm not going to trim those sections. I'm just going to extrude straight up as is. I think those are the only sketches I'm going to put in. I'm going to extrude up 26 with this contour. I'm going to then grab on this top face a circle. I'm going to cut down. And this one I'm going to cut down. And let me just check, do I have it in the right position? Yes, it looks like. Okay, that's going to cut down to 11 millimeters. I should actually have done with a counterbore hole sink, but I don't have that set up, so we'll just do it in this way. And it's actually a bigger circle, it's 33, so I'll have to fix that up in a second. The hole is 15, so that's going to go through all. Let me just fix this one here. Put that dimension in, 33. Okay, and we do have the chamfer on the top. The chamfer is 6 by 45. So put that in very quickly. 2 edges. Okay, there's a hole on the bottom. That hole on the bottom is, looking for the dimension, 56. And that comes up 12 millimeters. All right, now it's time to pattern. So I'm going to grab the 2 faces, grab the body, merge, and then we've just got our slot on the top to do. Now this slot we can do with a 3-point arc slot or a center point arc slot, probably quicker. Center point, arc, like that. Now I want to change the dimensions. So the center point of this is 20. The width of the slot is 6. The slot itself is 90. If I get this to vertical, center point, doesn't want to do it. I'll put a construction line there, make that vertical for construction, and I'll do a circular pattern on this. Cut through all. All right, and if we're done, 119.5. That's it. I know you could do an Ivan exploit on that one. Didn't worry about it. Yeah, we could probably do a little bit quicker. I think the number of features is about right. We'll submit the time. Ace, do an Ivan exploit and do those arc slots 45 degrees in the quarter. Yeah, I guess you could do that. What would happen? Yeah, I wonder. I think it would take too long to figure out where exactly to put the slot. You know, just in case. I know sometimes it's allowed doing the Ivan exploits, but for the speed, for the more the accuracy, I'd rather do it the right way and practice that. Just think it's more likely to be beneficial in the future. I'm just going to get a screenshot and save the file. I definitely like the model though. I got a little bit stuck with that hole at the start, but I did see the cannonball quickly. I think that's one way of doing it quicker. Now let me save these. Projects. Load them out. What were the best times? We were about 3 minutes on this one. So top 100 is a minute 28. Hey, there you are, buddy. 251. Matab 240. Oscar minute 28, the speed run. It's very fast. And Kate Leopold is doing a bunch of tutorials at the moment. She's got one here in Creo, so that's good to see. Yeah, I think the main way of speeding it up is doing the hole wizard on this, doing the chamfer before the hole wizard as well. So we'll give that a go. I want to do a speed run of this one very quickly because I think we can do it a little bit quicker. And what that looks like is rolling back to here, putting the chamfer here. So just select one edge for the chamfer, and then on this face, doing our counterbore hole wizard, where it is custom size 30. No, it is 15 by 33 by 11. No head clearance. Position is at the center point. Right, so that'll be much quicker than these next two. Delete that. Delete that. This one here. Could I put that sketch in the bottom? I think so. So put that sketch in here. 56. Put that in there. I have to extra contour to select here, but it'll make this cut extrude quicker because I can just go this one, select this contour, and come up. Yep, 12. So one less sketch to do. Don't need that. Then the mirror, and then the slots. Yeah, we want to do the slot quicker. All right. Well, we'll see how we can do that. Okay. Let's give it a quick go. So numbers, I'm just going to memorize some of these very quickly. 45, 65, 15, 56, 18. They were coming up. 26, 6 chamfer, canterboard's done. Do the cut up 12, mirror, mirror, and then the slots 20 by 6 by 90. Okay. Start a new file. 119.5 is the answer we're looking for. This will be the only one we'll do 2 runs for tonight. All right, cancel, reveal, and let's go. Top. So going 45 by 65, radius of 15. Haven't done my 2 sketches yet. 18, 56. Now extrude. We're going up 26. It's slow on the selection. It's okay. Chamfer here of 6. Hole wizard here. Just want to get the right spot. All the dimensions should be good. Yep. Grab this hole here. This is going to go up 12. This section. And then we're mirror, mirror. Body. And then slot here. So we've got center point arc slot coming out 20. Out 6. We just have to get that to 90. And we can do I have an exploit on this one. Just want to do 2. Cut through all 119.5. There we go. Did the I have an exploit? Yes, that's a lot quicker, I'd say. Thank you. Submit that one. 124. And where's that going to put us? Number 1. Sweet. All right, good. Good warm up. Now we can do the tier 7. Okay, that is the first one done. Tier 7 model. All right, this is going to be, this is a big challenge. I saw this one on I saw Adse and Ricardo do this, and they both did it in different ways. And the fill pattern is, I think, very difficult to get right. Now, I don't know if there's too many people watching right now. It looks like there's only one. I'll just put this here for a few seconds for anyone to take a screenshot. Yeah, the anti-symmetry of this makes it quite complicated. Also, I had a lot of trouble seeing it on the stream and working out actually, you know, is it going in or out, like the actual shape of it, but I can see it a bit better here that it comes up from the side view. So it's an ABS model, and thankfully in millimeters. Do the cut after the fill pattern. I take it you mean the hole cut, the little holes that go through them. Very complicated. Can we do a quarter? Like, I would have looked at this immediately and gone, can we do a quarter of this? But because of the offset on one side, this 18 here, and this 10, like that makes it really challenging. And would I have done fill pattern? I think, oh, I know one of the runners did not do a fill pattern. They just did a linear feature pattern, which was smart. All right, that's ace. That sounds good. Ribs have to go in after the shell. So the main idea with this is that we create the main body, we do all the top shapes, then we shell to remove the material underneath. As you can see, there's a 1.5 mil wall thickness, which is typical. So we want to try and work to that. cut the holes afterwards, but get those kind of dome shapes in the right spot. Given how complicated this one is, like tier 7, I think it's a better idea to not worry about the symmetry so much and just get the whole thing right, like model the whole thing in one go. So let's do that from the top plane. And I am going to use the center point here, even though it's not the exact center point of the model. I'll explain why in a second. I'm going to do the first shape, which is it's 128 times 2 by, oh no, that's the full height, sorry. 200, 128. I'm going to do this shape. And then the radius is at R9. I'm going to do this part first. Thankfully, there's no draft on these walls. That would make it complicated. I'm just going to extrude up, get the full height. And I'm going to include the bottom, so 16.5, the max height. And now I want to do that pattern. Now, I'm just looking for a section. So here's one way of doing it. I know that there's a lot of different ways, but we'll try this one. All right, you can see in the section view that the hole starts above. All right, now the internal radius is 12.5, so we do 25. And we can also see it's 1.5 mil from the top, and that obviously it is in front or in line with the origin. Okay, so that's going to be vertical. Now we put a line through this, just split it, and then we can do a revolve cut. So I'm going to select the midpoint. I'm going to uncheck thin feature, select one of the contours, and go blind. Right, so I've got the hole that I need. Now I need to do a fill pattern with this. If we can do the spacing right, then it would work pretty quickly. So I can select this feature. Let's see if we can do a fill pattern. Boundary is here. We need to do the spacing right, which is 28. The angle is 60, yes. And look at that, it's just done it for us. I don't think we've had to do anything other, like change anything else. The count, 33. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 7, 7 is 21, plus 6, 6 is 33. So we've got the right count. We press OK. That shape is done. Now we can't do that little cut hole until we do the shell. So that'll come next. Right at this point then, we need some fillets, but the fillets I believe can go on after the shell. So we could do our shell, 1.5. We could do our fillets, 1, which is all the top edges. I'm pretty sure there's a 1.5 on the outer edge. The way to do that is do the large radius first, the 1.5, and then do another one, which is 1. It's going to skip the edge that's already got a fillet. And then on the top, we're going to do a through all cut. The hole size is 3.5. We're going to go through all. All right, can we do the same fill pattern with this one? No. Maybe. Don't think it's going to work. No. So this is the one where probably better to do in one of the patterns here, and then do the sketch pattern or the feature pattern. And I reckon, wonder if we could do it here. In your sketch pattern, 28. It's that last one that's going to bugger things off, but we can just we can get around that. What's the spacing this way? 28, but it's kind of on an angle. So this is the tricky one. 56. No. I'm going to uncheck that dimension. I'm going to bring that back. So that just lets me bring this to the point. And then all I have to do is this one and this one, just make them for construction. And then I'm okay. That's going to cut through all. All right, so now I've got the hardest part out of the way, I think. So then we're back on the top plane. Now I've got to do the other shape. So now I'm just going to do a normal rectangle. And I'm going to do the full outside, which is 134 by 228. These ones have a radius, outside radius, 17. I'm going to grab this one, midpoint, and get that in line. And then I'm just going to get the spacing right on one side. This should be 10. And then on this side, I'm doing my slot. So I've got a straight slot, which is, the way it's dimensioned is not very nice. 6 by 30 with an arc in the middle, which is 10 by 2. Put that in. So that has a distance between those as 10. And from here to here, 2. And we just need to get that in line with the origin and then the spacing right. And the spacing is 6 from this edge. And what else is missing? This one in line with this. Okay, so now we're going to extrude. I'm going to grab this edge, tangent, convert, extrude up, 1.5, select this contour, done. And this would be final check. I'd be ribs. I've got to do the ribs. So rib on the bottom face. Ribs are centered, 3 ribs per side. Ribs go down 7 millimeters. 7 from the top, 56 by 56 spacing. Okay. How wide are the ribs? Doesn't really say. I'm just going to put this in, and there's going to be another one that's here. I should just do a linear pattern for this. So do 56 one way, mirror that one, mirror all 3. Instead of using a rib feature, I would probably, they're going to be offset from the bottom 7 millimeters. So I'm going to go offset 7. I'm going to go up to body, and the ribs are 1.5 mid-plane. Okay, that should be it. 78.84. There we go. First time. Not bad. What did you reckon I'd say? No move face. Pretty smooth workflow. Little mistake on trying to do the holes with a fill pattern, but otherwise good. Hello, Edward. Welcome to the stream. I've just done one of the hardest models on the Toby Practice Models website. I'm pretty content with this one. Tier 7 model. I'd say runner-up in the World Championship in the chat here. one of the guys that had a go at this live. Did really well, might I add. And yeah, we've got it done. First go. That felt good. Nice tray top. I wonder if there's been any quicker than that. We will find out. Submit. Average time 26 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Toby's done a tutorial. Nice one. Speed runs. Costco 5 minutes 20. Very good. Min mod text 23 seconds. Not true. Second top there. That's not bad. That was a lot of fun. Good suggestion. Okay, poll is open. No one else is voting. If you can see the poll, here 4, 5, or 6 models remain that we can do. But this was a fun tutorial. Edward, I'm not sure if you've seen much of Toby's practice models, but we're going through them, a couple of them tonight. Let me just do the next one on the list. I'm just going to grab on here and bring it forward. We will do a tier 5 machine part. End the poll. Okay. So let's open it up and have a look. Anyone wanting to have a go, grab a screenshot while I've got it open. Tier 5 millimeters, a lot of symmetry. There'll be a few quick ways of doing this. All right, and it is a plain carbon steel part. So I'm going to plain carbon steel, open, then I'm going to reset my timer and start again. Okay, cancel, and 3, 2, 1, let's go. Now, couple of cuts also revolve. Let's just do what we can to keep it simple. So the outer diameter is 150. There's a hole in the middle which is 28. We can do, let's draw a slot as well. Slot is 36 with a hole inside it, which is 17. And the slots are 105 from the middle. Okay. And then there's a hex, we'll put the hex in too. So this is one where we'll just put a lot of stuff in the first sketch. Just looking for the size of the hex. It's 15 by what? Annoying, can't see it. 48. Okay. 48. And horizontal. Okay, let's go. So first up, main body up the middle. We're going to go up full height, which is 40. Include this one here. Okay, then we're going to do a chamfer on the outside, 9 by 45. Okay, and then we're going to do our cut. Our cut, which is 15 from the top. So I'm going to use that slot sketch here. I'm going to go from this face and I'm going to go blind 15. All right. And I'm going to cut. I'm also going to do the other cut, which I didn't put in the sketch, which I probably should have, which is the 88. R88. And where is the center point of that? How do we work that out? That cuts, it's on a 45-degree angle. And the way it cuts through the shape, there is a line which will be perpendicular to this one, which will be 46. And that's going to cut onto this edge, this edge. So we can make that construction cut through all. All right, now pattern. So I get these two, do a circular pattern. We can have 4 of those. And you can see an issue there. Just going to hack it quickly, get those and do a through all cut. On the underside then, 6mm wall. Let's try that now. How's that going to go? Not great because it's going up too high. It should be going up to that face, which means we want it to be 21 thick from the top. Let's see if that works. That looks better. And then we want to get all of these faces, get rid of those. Bit of extra mucking around, but I think we're there. We just need that hex on the top. That hex depth is 15. And grab that shape, go from this one down 15. That should be good. 2289 within tolerance. It's 2290. Oh, definitely a few ways to do that quicker, but tier 5, like it is still tricky. So not too bad. Not too bad. Definitely a few ways you can do it quicker. But I'm reasonably happy with that. Let's save it. Edward, thanks for the question. Always capture the whole dimensions of the model before drawing. Just start with basic dimensions, figure out other dimensions along the way. It depends on the model. I'll explain more in a second. So if it's a really simple model with just a couple of dimensions, maybe you would just put those dimensions in and keep going. You just do them all into one sketch. But if it's more complicated, it takes a bit of planning out to work out what you're going to put in the first sketch. You think about the features that you're going to create after you've done the first one. So like in this example here, I put a few things in this first sketch and the idea was I'm going to use them again. I definitely should have put this one in that sketch as well. That would have saved me some time. From a speed modeling point of view, I'm focused on that today. So I'm trying to work out what's the most efficient way to get each of these sketches or each of these details into the model. Least number of clicks. So whatever is the least number of clicks, that's the solution. There's a few ways we could do this quicker, but that was not too bad. Top 100, a few very quick guys in there. I'm not even in the top 15. Just speed runs. I think this must be a featured model, so there's a few guys that have had a go as well. Good to see. All right, next model, I think will be a Tier 6. Another one from Utsay's tournament. Not really looking forward to this one. I know which one it is. Oh, okay. It's going to be hard. But tournament model Tier 6 sheet metal, I suppose that's what you can expect. So grab a screenshot if you wanted to have a go with me. Tier 6 sheet metal, aluminium alloy, millimeters, wall thickness of 7, bend radius of 9. It's symmetric. There's a couple of different fillets and radiuses, which are highlighted with the pink and purple. So R10 in 6 places, and then there's an R20 I can see, a couple of R20s, so R10s and R20s. So this one's about symmetry and setting it up in the quickest way possible. Yeah. With the least number of sketches. So it's one that you could do with a bit of planning, but in the competition, it's just like straight into it. So I know it's very challenging. Right now, I'm trying to formulate a plan. I'm trying to work out whether I start with this end here or this end here. Kind of want to start with this bend and do half of that. So start from like this bend section here, come down, and then do this as an edge flange. Can't remember how these guys built it. But like there's a few, if you look at this, the detail quickly, like there might be a few ways where you could sketch a shape and then cut a hole out afterwards, which would speed things up. And the fillets as well. All right, let's get ready. Give it a go. Aluminium alloy, millimeters. All right, I'm going to restart the timer. And here we go. Let's start with this side view that we can see. So I'll use that as the origin. I'll put the origin on the inside. Now I'm doing this because it's got the angled section there, which I think makes it even trickier. And I just want to get that bit right. 35. Now I've got a 90 to a virtual sharp. I wonder if I'm going to be able to use that. I've also got this angle. And I've got the total height. Right, so that's my first element. Now I'm going to get the setup right. So the distance for this is going to be the outside width of that section, which is the 115, divided by 2, because I'm going to do half. The thickness is 7. The bend radius is 9. Got to make sure I've got it on the right side. So reversing direction. And then OK. And then we're away. So next bit, there is a small edge flange here. Now most of the edge flanges they look to be bend outside. But because I've done the 115, I kind of need to bring that back. The width of that middle section that comes up is 90. So I might actually bring that back. But while I'm on this edge flange, I'm going to put this dimension in. This one is 55. Right, I want to capture that. It's also not full height, so I'm going to edit the bend flange sketch and put a dimension in there to make that 42. And I could also put in the radius here, 21. It's not going to like it though, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to finish, put this back to 45. What's the number of this here? Then 61. It's too far. It needs to be 115 divided by 2. What is that? 57.5. 57.5, 3.5 less. This is 90. All right, so what's going on there? It needs to be bigger. Oh, 50. I've completely read that wrong. So it should be 25. Then this one needs to be offset. (41) needs to be 57.5, 16.5 for the offset. Right, so I can edit this feature here, put in offset. Is this going to be right? I think so. Okay, that's looking better. Now we can do, better just do this with a cut, and could probably do this at one in the last stage as well. So I'll come back to that and do that after. I can see why this is getting very complicated already. I need to do more on this one. This is going to take me a bit of back and forth. I can see that already. Incredibly challenging to do live. Well done, I'd say. Yeah, great. It was a great one to do because I've got a cut here. So the cut is 24 by 37. 37, 24. Go on there. With an R10, I'll put that in. Cut that into thickness. Okay, that's looking better. This one here is a 10. This one here is a 20. Okay, the rest of that looks all right. I need another 10 on this one. Okay, so we've got that first section done. Now we can do a large edge flange here. And I don't want to offset this one. I want that to be within. And if I can do the full length here from this section to the end, then I'll be good. Which means I want to go 100 and 220. I want to go 220. And that's just setting up my next sketch. Because now I'm here and I can work on this view. I'm just going to change this so I'm matching the drawing. And now let's put it in. So coming up here, chamfer across, angle down, across, angle down, across, down, across, down. That should be it. Cross down, cross down. Yep, like that. Now we can do some dimensions. So what's the gap in between 16? So from here to here, it's going to be 8. So as we start to fully define this, it's going to start to take shape. Right now I'm just looking at the dimensions as much as I can to make sure I'm hitting the right points. Probably useful if I actually show this right plane. So I've got something there to dimension to. Hello, Elijah. Thanks for joining the stream. This is a very tricky one right now. Here's 31, and here we know should be 51. That's good. Angle of this bit here is 60. And are they parallel? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're parallel, so that's good. We've got 85 here to the end. And then for the next one, where does this point go? 165. So I'm going to put that shape in. I can come back and cut the next one after, because this next one has then a cut, which is here. Just trying to find the distance of that. Might not be able to. Looks like it is 150 from here. It is 35 from here. Does that look right? Not sure. No, I think it does actually. I think I also need to cut more off here, like this. So I'm going to cut that because the width of that section there is 115. That's this one. Yep. And then we have that distance. This one then is 40. That cuts back. That comes across and then down as well. So I'm going to cut that too. Cut that. I can put a sketch in here to do that radius, which is 20. All right, so we're getting all those done. I think that one is in line with this, collinear. And then that was 70. All right, so cut extrude, link to thickness. Good. Let's just roll this fillet down. Can't do it. I'm going to put another fillet on here. $20. Okay. That's all looking okay. Let's do our edge flange up. Height of this one is 80, so that's including that. And then we've got a, is that right? Yeah, that's okay. Then we've got here a little section that comes off the side. We just have to get the details right. We're getting pretty close on this one. There'll be another question if we've got all our dimensions right, but so far feeling okay about it. Now we've got to finish, get rid of that, finish off our edges. Make sure we've got all our radiuses in. Oh, I was supposed to do that cut at the same time. That was annoying. Okay, that's 20 and 42. Let's midpoint this one. and get that tangent. Then I'm going to cut selected contours because I want to cut that, and that through. All right. At this point, I want to save. Too much to lose. Sorry, Arte, if you're still watching. Have we got everything? Looks pretty good. Should we try 685? 685. No. Okay. We do have an error. Now I'm going to try and identify where I've gone wrong in what is a very tricky model. Could it be this section here? Looks okay. If anyone has seen my fault, you can let me know. 90 to the virtual sharp, 110. So what I'm trying to do now is just identify and mark off sections of the drawing where something's gone wrong, something I've missed. Let's have a look from this view. This looks pretty good. Top view. Slot in the middle looks a bit big. It says 16. It's fine. This cut looks a bit wide. I'm not really sure about that one. So this one here, or this cut here, 150. Hey Vivek, welcome. Trying to troubleshoot this model right now. Very complicated to build, and we're just trying to spot where I've made a mistake. I reckon it's to do with this R20 at the top, this section that doesn't quite look right. I can see that this should be 150, that's good. This one should be 115, that's good. This section here should be 110, and that's 115. So that's a mistake. So where is that mistake made? That's here. 110. So this one means this should be 55. Means this doesn't work. And then I lose the dimension, which was 150. So that's from here to here, 150. All right. Let's see if this is better. 6, 7, 8. Still wrong. Okay. Sketch tab there. That's still, no, that's 110. That's okay. Oh boy, really very good one. Well, we just got to work through it. Do I go to the drawing? I'm pretty close to doing that. There's so many dimensions on this that it makes it difficult without like marking them off one by one. to know exactly where you've gone wrong. So let me do that, which means I'm actually going to bring this across here. So this is the process to go through. Stuck on a practice model, not sure where you've gone wrong. I encourage you to take a screenshot. All right, you can't do this just on the app. You have to bring open your screenshot, and then I'm going to go through these one by one and mark off the dimensions until I know that I've covered everything. I'm just going to do a red pen like this. All right, through the dimensions, and this is going to tell me what number I'm missing, what number I've got wrong at some point. This is my 50. All right, and then I can roll down to the next one, and I can see this is the 16.5. So that rolls on there, 90. It is 42 high, which is this, 55 long. All right, and then my tab section here, 55 high. The 55 refers to this, and the width 75 refers to the 150 that's here. Okay, that then has a cut through it, which is 37, 24 with a 10 mil radius there. I've then done these internal fillets, R10, and I've done this external fillet, R20, is that one, and then an edge flange here, which is 220. Now the 220 is what I've done going from the outside. That's this one here. And then my tab is filling in the gap. So this has a few dimensions. I have the 20 for the chamfer. I have the 85 going from point to point. I have the gap of 8, which is the 16 through the middle. I have the 60-degree angle. That's for both. I've made them parallel. And then I have the 31, which is the 62 note right there. So far, so good. All right, then next up, I have the 115 here, which is the 57. I have the 35, which is the 70. I have the 150, which is a combination of these two, 80 plus 70. And then I have the 55, which is the 110. Then I've put a couple of radiuses on. I've done the outside edge here, which is R20. I also did this R20. The link tree structure, yep. If you right click here, you can click on Dynamic Reference Visualization for Parent and Child. All right, edge flange at the top. So this is the last bit. Got 80 there. I didn't actually measure this, but I assume this is 38. Yep, that's fine. 38's good. The hole then, I've got my R21, got my 24 through all. And then on this side, I've got that radius as well, 20. On this side, I've got the 42. I've got, which is this 21. I've got 20 that's through all, and then I've mirrored. All right, so it kind of looks like I should have all the dimensions correct. There's a few, and I've just found one here that's wrong. And that's a big one that's wrong. 30. That should be 40. So how does that work out? Because this should be 180, when I've got it as 190. So I've made a big blue in what looks like this edge flange, even though I was using the 220 number. I think it is on then this cut where I've put this 40 dimension in wrong. So if I bring that back to 30, you see how it moves that top shape? My weight goes to 696. And we found the answer. So took some troubleshooting, but yeah, it was when I put in this gap here, I had a bit of trouble with it. Good tutorial, good lesson to learn from on this. Very, very difficult model. Well done to the guys that did this live. Fantastic. Ace did it in 9 minutes. Yeah, brilliant. Definitely not a sheet metal specialist myself. Let's just color it and then move on to the next one. Ace, if you're still around, well done for getting that one done in the competition, man. That was awesome. For the guys that have joined, so I'm doing some of Too Tall Toby's practice models. I should say, welcome to the stream. If you have any specific questions or models you'd like me to have a go at, please just jump in the chat, let me know. Planning on doing tier 4 or 5 and 6 models. I've done one of each so far. I've probably got another half an hour to 45 minutes left. So happy to take any requests or answer any questions you might have. Jay Vivek, I hope I answered your question earlier about the link tree structure. I find that incredibly useful for understanding references when I'm cleaning up my models, grouping features, etc. It really helps to visualize. Okay, let's move on. That was incredibly difficult. So what we've got next, let's see, we've got tier 6 here, tier 6, tier 5, tier 4, woodworking, machined. All right, we'll do this. So we've got a tier 4 one here. Let's do this one next. We'll open up and have a look. This is a umbrella stand. And doesn't want to reveal. Just getting a freeze. Yep. 1 second. Okay, here it is. Let me open up the drawing. So take a screenshot of that if you want to have a go. It's tier 5 multi-body. So the multi-body ones have a combination of materials. You can use any template in the right units of measurement, and you want to apply the materials when you've completed the model before submitting your answer. All right, let's go. Multi-body is generally one of my strengths for these kind of models, speed models. We'll start our file in ABS, and then I'll restart the timer. Okay, let's go. All right, I would start straight away with the bottom section. And let's use the back corner as our origin and do the full size, 155 by 155. We want to get the hole through the middle, which is 125. And doing mid-plane on these two works in this one because we're not going to change the radius on those. I'm only going to change the radius on this front corner. And then I'm going to put in these holes, which is 22. I'm going to dimension one of them. And I'm going to pattern it. I'm going to pattern it around this one. Go OK. I'll just get that there and make this one for construction. I'm not going to need that. And that should be the only sketch that I need for the whole model, I think. So then here, now we're going to do the bottom section. Bottom section is 50. We're going blind. It is solid on the very bottom for what looks like 15 millimeters. Yep. So we can just sketch it like this. And then I'm going to do the same again. But this time I'm going to select those contours being those holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that fills them in. It doesn't say anything about clearance in the holes. It's got 12 mil rods. No, 12 mil to the holes and rods. So this bit goes up. We'll do 12 total for this, and I'm going to do a move face, offset the middle one 3 millimeters. Okay. And then we want to do another one at the top. The one at the top is 60 all up. We're going to offset the distance. We're offsetting it the full 420. And then I'm going to change the direction. And this one, do a very similar thing. It's going to go 12. I'm going to select contours. I'm just going to get those 3. I'm going to go from this face and come down to merge. Right, this one's going to have a 45 7mm chamfer. And then we need to do our rods. Our rods, we're going to go select contours. 1, 2, 3. They're going to start from this face. They're going to go up to this face, unmerge, and there's our bodies. Let's add some materials. These 2 are going to be the ABS. These 3 are going to be the red oak. If all our detail is correct, that will be it for the model. The answer being 1509. There we go. Not too bad. Let's grab some materials on these 2 parts, some appearances, save our image. Very good, fun little tier 4 multi-body option. Submit that one. That was pretty quick. Reasonably happy with that. All right. The next model is also multi-body. We'll come back to that. We'll do that a bit later. Or maybe that might be our last one. Let's do another machined part, tier 5. All right, and here is the drawing for anyone wanting to have a go. Not a symmetrical part. Quite, say, tricky geometry, just potentially tricky to get your head around. You know, sketching from a few different planes, using some shapes that aren't regularly seen in the models, tight tolerance. This will be fun. Plain carbon steel millimeters. I'll start that file up and we'll start the timer again. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So I'm going to start with this side view. I think it's going to make things, I think, easier to do. So I'm going to put that there, come all the way across. Actually, don't have a dimension for this. Might not be easier. We will find out. I want to get that shape done. And then that is perpendicular. This one is not perpendicular. No. There is a rib there too. So it is 8 degrees off vertical at the back and 15 at the front. And we have a 52 on the side, 6 on the top. Okay. And the 77 we've got all the way to the end. I'll just put that rest of that sketch in. This will help. I didn't plan on doing that originally, but I think with the way the dimensions are, it'll make things a bit quicker. Let's move that all over there, put this one down. So what's the height of that section? 6. And what else do we have? 26 to that. And I put my origin on this point here. And that point is 18 from the end. This one here is 18. Okay, so this section is fully defined. So let's use this. Now, which face we'll go from? I think we'll go from this front face. So I'm going to select this and go blind and go 50 back. And it's got a R25 fillet. I'm going to put that full round on. Get that shape done. And then I know on this side, I can extrude here, select these 2 contours. Not quite. The distance of this is 6, and that's going to come from this face. Anything sticking out? No, that looks okay. R8 here. All right, now it's just a matter of like completing the detail from here. We've got the basic shape done. I just need to be accurate with everything else. The rest of the sections are like they're reasonably straightforward. You just need to break them apart into their separate elements and follow through and get all the detail. So make sure you're not missing anything in this part, which means like looking at the shapes, working out what's there, what's not there. Like this one has a bit of a D-shaped cut, for instance. So being able to read that, see that on the drawing where it is, which is over here, and then put that in. That's 13, for instance. This here is 45. This comes up to 8 from this edge. This part here is 18. Slot actually drops all the way down. So I'm just going to drop it there. And the width of this section is 6. Okay, another detail done. Rate is 12 here. Back on the front plane, I want to put this rib in. I'm going to sketch the whole thing because I need to do an offset face for this one. I can see it's a 22mm offset. Just working out how far back it needs to go. Because I can't see a starting point for it. I know it's somewhere below this edge. It looks like it's in line with that hole, but this is a guess, so it might be wrong. I'm also going to guess it's 6. Offset 22. Right, now we've got a bunch of holes to do. This one has interesting type, like a slot profile that we kind of want to draw. Which if I can do, I will, because it might help things. Make that all for construction. The width of the slot, 13. 26. Yeah, so put that one there. And then I'm going to use that sketch to do a hole wizard. Is it going to let me? No. Position on the face, type. Put in the numbers, so 5 by 9 by 4 in these positions. So 1 going to be here, 1 here, 1 here. Now I can dimension them. 20 to this one, and 10 to this one, and accept. Those holes are done. And then I've got 3 more holes to do on this face, and then I think the model is done. We've got 8, 8. Select all 3, make them equal, and dimensions 25. 9. 9 those horizontal, and then 20, the last one. Cut through all. All right, now a quick sweep just to have a look, see if we got all the detail. I think we do. So the answer would be 439.5. We are correct, which is pleasing because that was a very tricky one. As I thought, like starting this model, no symmetry, a lot of tricky angles. So I had to do or take special care to read the dimensions accurately. Make sure you're putting in the correct dimensions in the right places. Inside bracket. But very, very neat model. Good practice, good challenge. Thank you, Toby. All right, guys. 2 of you that are viewing at the moment, I've got 2 models left, but if you had a request, let me know. Otherwise, I might just do 1 more of these. I've hit the hour-and-a-half mark on the stream. I think we'll do the other multi-body option. Although this tier 6 bracket's got an average solve time of 24 minutes. You have no speed, a couple of speed runs, 3 minutes 50 on the multi-body one, 3 minutes 30, very fast. All right, I think we'll do the multi-body, and that can be our last one for the night. Hello to anyone out there. We're going to do this tier 6 model. I'll give you the chance to have a go with me. So again, another one from the tournament. Oh man. With the right kind of, like I'm very certain there's an efficient use of a variable feature pattern, which could make this work well, I think. But yeah, there's a few ways of doing it. The main thing is get what's the quickest in a competition? This is one where it doesn't need to be perfect, just like the least number of features. It needs to be quick features that are accurate. Yeah. All right, so let me reposition and we'll start. This is a millimeters aluminium alloy file. Millimeters aluminium alloy. And I'm going to close and restart. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Where am I going to start? I'm going to start with the straight parts, or at least the one that we can see that's in the corner. And I'll also do just the largest radius, which is, what does it even say? I'm looking at the gaps. Shells are notched. Shelf radius center point. Does it not tell you the radiuses? Yeah. That's cool. No problem. So you got to work it out. All right, so let's do this bit first because we've already got it open, 50 by 50. Close that, offset 13, cap ends, lines, extrude, full height 1100. Okay, that's the first bit done. Next part, they have like this straight section which comes all the way down. Shelf edges, touch, and now I'm looking at the pink notes. The pink notes are going to tell you quite a bit. The whole idea for this is to do all the bodies and just indent them at the end to cut away the material. And could you mirror? Could you do half and then mirror? Yeah, probably could as well. Shelves notched perfectly to accept the legs. Shelf edge touches leg edge exactly. All right, so I think we've got to do that side view. So I'm going to do this view here, whatever this is, right plane. And I'm just going to come right out here and sketch what I can see. Um, 15 degrees is the angle. I think this is where you probably should have started the model. Now it's 150 to here, and this is what sets out the diameters for all the parts. So this sketch is actually going to give you most of what you need. I'm offsetting that one. I'm going to drop that up there, and this one down here, and then I'm going to do my shelves. So each shelf is 20, they're 100 apart, and they stop on the top corner like that. 20, 100 from the bottom, and then we've got a couple more. So I'm going to draw it like this. 1, 3, and then there's one right at the top. Okay. And now each of those, they're all 20. So all those are going to be equal. And then we're putting the gaps in. 340, 320. All right, now it's fully defined. Now we just need to make it. Now this first one, I'm actually going to do like leave that sketch and do another sketch because I think it might be quicker. To do it this way. Let's see if I'm right or not. So I put that second body in. Now I want to do my revolves. I'm actually going to do another right plane, convert everything here, delete this, and if there was another line at the top, I'd delete that. I'm going to revolve everything, not thin feature. I'm only going to revolve it 90. I'm going to use this axis. No, like that. Axis is going to be this. Contours like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uncheck merge. Okay. I'm going to do a. Can I do a plane that will be between those? Yep. I'm going to use that plane to do a mirror of this body. Then I'm going to do. How could I do this quickly? Target body is this. And I want to remove this and this. Cut it. Oh, and this one. Cut. So I have to repeat that process 3 times, but I think that's easy. So target body, tool body, 1, 2, 3, done. Target body, tool body, 1, 2, 3, done. And indent again, target body, cut, tool body, 1, 2, 3, done. Right, that should be all the cutting done. Now we've got 1, 2, 3 parts which are aluminium alloy, 4 bits which are red oak, if we've done it right, this is the right answer, 10320. 10320. No, we are wrong. 10320. Okay. So somewhere in our detail we're off. And I wonder if it is to do with the legs or the way that we've done the pattern. Shelf radius center point. The tricky one. Let's just save it before we lose anything. Angled wood shelf. Our time, pretty reasonable, 6 minutes. But something's going wrong. So work that out. 260. Let's just check some of our sketches. So we've got 13 for the edges. Got 115 to the leg corner. I think that's going to be right. Got 50 for that thickness. Got 20, 20, 20 for each of the shells. 100, 340, 320. We've got 1100 for the total height. We've done the notches correctly. Looks like it. If we isolate these bodies, each of them have the required notches at angles. 1, 0, 3, 2. 1, 0, 3. Yep, we've got correct materials. Red oak. Got the shells touching the right point. And 150 to the leg. I'm a bit stumped on this one. Looks like everything is right from a dimension point of view. But we are not within tolerance. And something is amiss. If I was to check all the dimensions off, they look correct. I think the indent process was pretty quick. Yeah. What do you think, guys? Where have we gone wrong on this one? Let's screenshot. I'll have to go through and do check off for the second time tonight. It's just how it is. It's fine. What is that? It's the only way to get better. Okay, so first sketch. 50s at 13, and then 1100. Second sketch. 15-degree angle. Where's the 15? Yeah. We have 100, 20, 340, 320. They're all 20s. And then we have the 260. We have the 50. We have 150 at the corner of the leg. We have 13 on the sides. Shelf radius center point. I think we did the revolve in the correct space. It's all revolving around that edge at the back. Our revolve contours look okay. It's using all the material. Yep. Is our material correct? Just checking the density. 570. Yeah. And aluminium alloy. I think that is also correct. 2700. Yep. All right. So I'm unsure where we've gone wrong on this. I'm going to have to look into. Those are all good. None of those. I'll have to look into some other tutorials. We'll see if there's some other place we've gone wrong on this. Might have to put some help in the Discord. All right. And that's going to do me for tonight. Thank you guys, those that watched. We did 6 models. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 models. Tier 4, Tier 5, Tier 6, and a Tier 7. That was a lot of fun. Can't submit this one. Don't have the right answer. We'll have to look it up. Yeah, for those that joined, thank you. Thanks for jumping in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, hope you enjoyed some stuff from this or took some points from it. Coming up in December, I'll be scheduling soon a long live stream for assembling the Lego motorcycle you can see on screen, with all the files, all the SolidWorks files and step files being available to anyone wanting to jump on live and join on at the same time. I'll make them available to those after the stream as well that want to have a go on that project. But yeah, that'll do. Thanks, and see you in the next one.